Good morning.
Day 87 in Iceland. We've run out of food, water, and motivation. Now we must trek to this horrible place in search of sustenance. Oh, we had a good breakfast.
Yeah,
eggs and bacon.
Yeah, it's like we had eggs and bacon. We're good.
Yeah. All right, honey, tell me about this rock.
I think there was a glacier that went down either side, and that's why it's like really narrow like this.
And like what, pushed out into the bay on each side?
Yeah, you see how it's like U-shaped over here, and then like over there, that other cliff is that same U-shape.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of see it, although there's a lot of water here.
But it would have been U-shaped on this side.
Yeah.
And so this is just like...
So this is just like what's left in the middle.
Yeah, two glaciers rubbing next to each other.
That's my best guess.
So we did the glacial hike at the beginning of this vacation, and one thing that the tour guide said to us that's really stuck with me, they had some weird looking bridges and bridge placements, and like half of them were like broke down and destroyed. And she said, no, don't think we don't know how to build bridges in Iceland. The problem is we build a bridge and then the bridge is no longer needed. So we build cheap temporary bridges. Well, this is a real bridge. This one don't go nowhere. Sometimes they get a little sketchy walking across the bridges in Iceland, or driving across them, because we've come across some ones in need of repair, but we've made it so far.
They get volcanic eruptions that'll happen and like just like cover the whole, bridge, or sometimes they'll get weird glacial melt that causes flooding, or sometimes you get lahars, which is like when the volcanic stuff melts all of the mud and glacier like from underneath, and then it comes down as a giant disastrous mud flow that like instantly turns into concrete the second it stops moving. And they're just like, well, now what? So it's like, why would you build a nice bridge? So there's a lot of one-lane bridges, which take a lot less resources than two-lane bridges. So, and there's not enough people to really justify the two-lane bridge. So it's like, because they got to build a new one so often. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting just to see like their thought behind it. They said they can rebuild stuff, like a road and everything, because of the way their permitting process stuff works. So you can do it in like 3 days.
Yeah, imagine rebuilding a road in Texas in 3 days.
Yeah.
I think the world would end.
Or anywhere. Michigan's like that too. Our state flower is the traffic cone.
Yeah. It'd be like rapture coming, You'd be like, where is everybody? No traffic? Fresh paved roads?
Yes.
Tell me about a columnar joint. Is it hexagonal? Is it octagonal?
They're hexagonal. I think pretty all the time, most of the time. And it has to do with the lava flow like cooling very rapidly and quickly. So it causes it, that's the most stable shape, is for it to be a hexagon. So I always laugh when people are like, oh, like nature doesn't come in perfect geometric shapes. And I'm like, have you studied mineralogy?
Have you seen
Everything.
A beehive?
Yeah. I'm like, there's a lot of perfectly, geometric shapes that happen. and some of these are so rounded out from tumbling down and moved by glacier, moved by water, ice, all that sort of stuff just rounds them right out. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Beautiful lava flows. Hi, Editor Julia here. Something I didn't mention in this video clip that's kind of cool when you look at these basalt lava flows a little bit closer is you see these sort of holes that are on there. Those holes are actually showing where the top of one lava flow is and the bottom of another one is. So a lot of these lava flows contain a lot of different volcanic gases and such, and when they escape, they have to be close to the top, otherwise there's too much pressure on top of them from the molten rock for them to escape. So we know that this has to be near the top of a lava flow based upon the number of holes that are in there. We call those vesicles, and they're usually containing trapped gases that are near the top of a lava flow. And if we had another lava flow directly on top of this one, we would see a lot less of these bubbles and vesicles that are here. And then you would have another layer that would have more of them on top. So you can actually see subsequent lava flows. Granted, this is just one lava flow in this picture.
So one thing I always try and explain to people is like, you think something is cool until you come and do that thing with like a super nerd. What do you have to say for yourself?
I love this so much. Having me a geology moment, I'm so happy right now. Like, I've never seen anything quite like this, so this is really cool. We're walking around the scoria cone. Down that way is where it was erupting giant fountains of lava. They're building the cone up around it. It's just really cool because you like learn about it in textbooks. I've seen a lot of really cool geology, don't get me wrong, but like a lot of the volcanic stuff you don't always get to see. So being able to like see this in person is just like wow, you know?
So, Julia found this rock that looks like it's iron rich, right? And what's funny is she's like, it probably weighs nothing. She picks it up and she's like laughs and then hands it to me, and I mean, it is literally like,
it's like a kitchen sponge weight.
Yeah,
maybe even lighter than that. Like it just kind of like,
and it's an iron rich volcanic rock. Yep. And it weighs nothing. That's just,
there's so much air in here. This rock probably floats in water. It may actually float in water.
So we had two options when we chose which to walk around. We chose this one because we figured it'd be harder to get to. That's the other one that I have centered. I'm going to zoom in and you can see the parking lot coming into view. Yeah, we're not sharing this one with anybody, but there's lots of people walking around that one. Yet again, my honey made bestest choice.